Maxon Outfitters. Huh. That crazy John Morris. He's so funny. Are y'all on? What are you doing? I'm trying to eat my biscuit. I understand. Just let me eat my biscuit, okay? I'll be with y'all in just a minute. Just need to eat my biscuit. Just calm down. Working Class Fisherman Podcast. Y'all back again? Yes, I'm eating banana pudding for breakfast. So what of it? Look, can I just finish before we... Come on now. What's happening, guys? We're going to talk a little bit today about panfish baits and what I use, what I like. I discovered all this stuff simply by trial and error. Just, going out here, finding something on the shelf that I thought looked like it was going to do what it should do, giving it a try, and seeing how it works out. Also, things that I've been using most of my life. There's quite a few things out there. When it comes to panfish baits, a lot of times it's not just panfish that really, attack these things, depending on the size, depending on color, what you're using as a jig or whatever. You can find a lot about a lake, find out a lot about a lake or a river or a creek or pond by using these things first before you go out there blasting the big lipless cranks and the 6.5-inch ribbon tails and buzz baits and things like that. It's how I do things. Again, not telling you this is how you should do it. I'm just saying this is how I do it. If you want to give this stuff a try, hey, I'm glad. I'd be glad to answer any questions. I'll be happy that you gave it a shot. But I'm not going to tell you this is what you should do. It's not. This is just one way of doing things, and this is how I do it. So I'm going to show you a few things here. Things that I use. Obviously, you've seen, if you've watched any of the other videos, that I catch fish with. Let's start out with one of my favorites. This is a little bit larger size, but I'm going to show you because it's bigger and it's easier to see on the camera. These are Roadrunner jigs. Okay? A little bit bigger size than what I normally use. I usually have a 1/16 ounce, and it's usually white. A little smaller spinner. These things, I tend to use them more in the spring when the water's still kind of cold. I like that little spinner. To me, it gives a little bit extra when it comes down to getting the provoking of the bite. The little spinner, I think, gives just that little bit of extra. I love using these things. You can wear one out. You can, believe me. I mean, you can knock the paint off these things and chip them up into where there's nothing but lead color there anymore, but they still keep right on doing their thing. A little bit hard to find sometimes. I don't know what it is about Bass Pro Shops and places like that, and please don't get me started about Bass Pro Shops, because there's one word in that name that bothers me, because it really doesn't belong there. I'll let you figure out which word it is. But anyway, I do use a lot of things from Bass Pro Shops, and one of those things that I do use is Crappie Max. These are little curly tail, sea-tailed jigs, or grubs, I'm sorry. They do work well. They do work very well. And this color right here that I use, this is a threadfin shad. Okay, I'm going to pop one of these out here and show you real quick. Because they do work. One of the second biggest fish I ever caught was on this very color right here. Threadfin shad, curly tail. And these are about 2-inch. I think this is 2-inch, yeah. 2-inch size. I tend to stay in the 1.5 to 2-inch range when I'm doing a lot of this pan fishing stuff, because one, it gives the smaller fish the benefit of being able to get hooked on these things, and the larger fish still pay attention to it. There you go. That's one of the reasons I do it. Another one of the things I use, Eagle Claw ball head jigs. Okay? Now these are the ones with the sickle hook. I haven't been using them as much recently, but I do use them quite often. The sickle hook, it's a strong hook. Eagle Claw's been around forever. You know they got sharp hooks and they work really well. Plus, this is in a 1/16 ounce. Kind of my favorite place to be. I have found that the 1/16 ounce really falls into all categories. If you want to go lighter, a little bit different presentation. For example, it's not going to fall as fast in the water, if that's what you're looking for. But a lot of the things that I use, like the Bass Pro Shops with the sea tails and stuff like that, the curly tails, I want them to move. I want that tail to move. That's one of the things. So the faster the fall, the more the tail moves, and it leaves less for the fish to believe that it's fake. That's just me, my opinion. Okay, another thing. You know I love these guys. Crappie sliders. I can't even begin to tell you how I love these. This is a baby bass color, which works really well. And another color that I really like is the smoke with silver sparkle. Hard to find though. I went to Bass Pro Shops yesterday because they showed they had them in stock. I get there, they say they have 6, no one can find them. Something else I really like using, Bobby Garland. Now these are the little, you know, the typical. Narrow at one end, thick at the other. There's not a lot of movement there. And those are for me, are for jigging. I cast them out, I bring them up, I drop them, I bring them up, I drop them. A lot of that is because crappie really like to hit from underneath. They like to come up and nail the things from underneath. And so when you bring it up, if it's on the bottom, that's when they want to attack. I'm going to be using those today. We're going to be using a lot of this stuff today. That's the major objective for today, is to, I'm going to make up a word, varietize. I like that word, varietize. That's a good word. That actually should be in the dictionary, I would think. Varietize. I like that. Yeah. Something else I like. Trout magnets. Let me put that around where you can see that. Trout magnets. National Trout Magnet Week is coming up. So I prepared myself. I got a lot of trout magnets. Trout magnets. Bobby Garland. Crappie Max, Bass Pro Shops. Roadrunner jigs. Ball head jigs. Crappie sliders. There's also the, and I have them over there somewhere. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Okay, I use these a lot. Squirt heads. Okay, these are just a tubular style jig that I enjoy using because I will actually slip the body. I've showed this in other videos. I take the body of the bait and I will slip it around the hook, put it on, and slip the body over top of the weight. That's one of the things about the ball head jigs and things like that. They have that little triangular, which I will pull out again and show you. Hey, it's a barrel of monkeys. Barrel of jigs. They have that little triangular shark fin right there. I usually take my snips and cut those off. And I do that because, for one, it tears the baits up. When you slip it over it, it tears the baits up. And you want the bait to last as long as possible. If you're catching enough fish, the fish is going to destroy that bait in due time. So you don't want to hurry that process up by that little pointy shark fin thing tearing the bait up every time a fish hits it or pulls at it. So I clip them off because I don't have a problem with reeling back in and slipping that bait back up one more time. It usually stays pretty tight unless the jig, or not jig, but the grub or whatever you're using is destroyed. And even then, a lot of times you can take it off, turn it, come back out on the opposite side that you've fed the hook through, and use it again. I do. Again, that's just me. But you know, that is enough talk. I'm so overwhelmed with talking. It's not something I enjoy doing. That is an outright lie. So anyway, I'm going to get finished here, putting stuff away and getting dressed. We got 4 rods and reels today, and I'm going to dress all 4 of them a little bit different and see what they do. We have 2 Leland TCB rods with Daiwa reels, Revros, and a Regal. And we also brought the Torrent spinning reel, PC fin, with the 500, PC fin Flame 500 on there, and we're going to dress that one up a little bit different. And we also have a PC fin Viper 500. Very cool. All have 10-pound braid with 6-pound leaders. So we're going to dress all these guys up a little bit different, take them out there and see what all these different baits will do, what's catching more than the other. Hey, why not? I mean, it's a beautiful day, beautiful weekend, sun's out. I've had my banana pudding this morning for breakfast and my chicken biscuit. Honestly, can't think much. I don't know if there's anything any better than getting ready to go fishing right now. I just can't think of anything. I'm trying. I'm sitting here. I'm going, is there something better? What could possibly be better? Huh. Nothing's coming to me. So let's go fish. See you out there. A grassy gill. Now, of course, that fish was caught with little Bobby Garland. Let's try something else real quick. Now, with that, it is a jigging process. You're just bouncing him. That's really all I was doing. So let's see what we got next here. Now, this one we're going to go with the Charlie Brewer. This one's got the paddle tail, so this one's going to be more of a straight retrieve. You just throw it, let it drop, bring it in. It also has the little road runner on there. See what this one does, if this does anything. Okay. Got a crappie, and that was probably about, I don't know, I was probably between 8 and 12 casts. But this particular jig, using it, I drop it to the bottom and then I just retrieve. Now you can drop and pull if you want, but I like the tail to get as much action as it can, so I kind of do a retrieve thing. This is in the smoke with black sparkle, little crappie. There we go. There we go. Bass on the, what did I say that was? Chartreuse and June bug. Finally. That went on for so long I cut the camera off. And that was on the old Tennessee shad. Oh, okay, get on off there. Bass hit right at the bank, right when I was getting ready to lift it out of the water. Scared me to death. I'm old. Bladder can't handle stuff like that. Okay, it's been a while since we have fished this spot, because usually I'm over there. We're going to see what happens over on this side today. And we catch a bass right at the bank. I saw him hit that. Man, that was impressive. He took that thing in like he owned it. There we go. There it is. Pink and white. Oh, pink and white. What do we got? Looks like a crappie. I can't tell. Swimming hard though. Yep, crappie. Pink and white for the score. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, bud?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dang it. Right when you said it, yes. But
I caught 2 bluegill the other day. That's all I've caught.
oh, I got him. He came back for it.
Did he?
Yep. Mostly crappie is what I've been getting in here. And that's what this looks like.
Yeah, I caught 2 bluegill over there off the dock.
There's another one. And I got him. Got him. Okay, the Jawbone is bringing some fish to life here. Nice little crappie, and that is on the Jawbone. We're going to switch. God, I hate throwing them this far, but the grass is so bad. All right, let's switch. Yeah, one for the Charlie. Now I stopped fishing for a while, ate some lunch, it's going on 2:30. The fish were pretty much stagnant, weren't doing anything. There we go. It only took 3 hits, but we finally got one. Looks like the crappie are back in their little area again. Man, I wish this grass would blow down to the right, wherever that southeast, west, north, whatever it is, some other direction. I already got one on there. I could tell that line was just heavy. It was just heavy. Come here. No, no, no. Don't go in that junk. I'm dredging. Somewhere in that, there's a fish. Hey, hey, hey there, Captain Slapbottom. Stop that. Now this is a Bobby Garland called Baby Shad. That's all I can tell you, baby shad. Let's give it a try. We are going with a trout magnet now. I got a blue with a silver sparkle on there using a gold jig, trout magnet jig. That didn't go anywhere. Okay. Maybe we'll. Oh. No, he let go. I think I had a bluegill. That's funny. There we go. That's craziness. Second cast. Second cast with the trout magnet. Second cast with the trout magnet. There we go. That felt like a bluegill. That was rapid fire is what that was. It's like tick 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 tick. Man, isn't it crazy that when you fish enough, you know the differences? Isn't it just nuts? It's crazy is what it is. I mean, it's like therapy crazy. So you can tell me the difference between a bluegill bite? Yes, I can. A lot of people can. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can do that. Trout magnet. You're killing it. Oh my gosh. That's a fighter, whatever that is. Another gill. Or a piranha. One or the other. No, that's a gill. Trout magnet. You're eating it up. You're just showing off, trout magnet. Just showing off. God, man, that thing is pretty. There's another one. There's another one. Trout magnet. Who would have thought that the trout magnet
the last thing that I was using, I was just staying away from when they're not biting. Trout magnet pulls it out again. Unbelievable. Trout magnet, trout magnet. Put it on a jig, throw it in the water, then catch a fish. Trout magnet. See, trout magnet? You need me. You need me, people. Traveling around the world, fishing with trout magnets. That's all it is. I can do that. Early retirement. Uh-oh. There we go. See, trout magnet? That's, you need me, trout magnet. Trout magnet, your fish is going into the grass. Come out of there. Got a bluegill with a ton of grass on him, but I'm going to get it off in the water. The gills are alive with the sound of trout magnet, which trout magnet really doesn't make any sound that I know of. It might go ouch when it's bit, I'm not sure. And what I'm doing is a steady, slow roll with the occasional twitch. That's all I'm doing. I'm not really giving them time to see that it's not real, that there's a sharp, pointy thing protruding from what they believe is the tasty morsel of food at the end of the line, which they don't know is there either. So that's all I'm doing. I mean, I just, oh, there we go. Oh, we got him. Oh yeah, he was swimming away. We had him. That's got to be a gill. It's a lot of jumping, jerking, running sideways like a flat manhole cover. You're gonna go right in the grass. Oh, and he got off. You got to be kidding me. But he left me this, going away prize. Yeah. So we're all packed up, campers hooked up, loaded up the old golf cart, fishing poles, tackle boxes, and we're on our way home. Now, what did we learn this week? Well, or this weekend, I should say. Panfish baits, they come in all shapes and sizes. And there's a lot of other companies out there other than the ones that I mentioned. I mentioned Charlie Brewer, Bobby Garland, Bass Pro Shops, Trout Magnet, Jawbone from Dick's Sporting Goods. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot more out there than just what I mentioned. So you kind of have to do your own homework and get out there and figure out what works for you in your area. Now, what happened today and yesterday, really, it was amusing. It was very amusing that what I had been using up there and just killing them, all of a sudden now doesn't really have that same effect. I was catching a few, but not as many by any means. And then I switched to a smaller bait. I switched to a trout magnet. And within 15-20 minutes, my fishing adventure had turned around. The experience had burst open like springtime. That's a terrible analogy. Needless to say, it got better. And again, I've talked about trout magnets on numerous occasions, but they're so funny to me because they're so simplistic. They're so simple. But man, do they catch a fish. So the key really to all this is go out, take a look at things, look on the shelves, see what you see, watch YouTube, see what you think would work for you in your area. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. The old trout magnets pulled through. So until next time, thank you for watching. If you enjoy what you're seeing, go ahead and subscribe. You might as well. I'm going to keep doing this, so you might as well go ahead and at least have the advantage of being able to turn me off when you feel like it. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Man, I'm hungry. Pretty sure I can't get the camper through a drive-thru though. But Chick-fil-A is awful accommodating. You just never know what they might let you do.